In the last review, we looked at the Batman figure, which was the first figure I got for this Page Puncher wave. We also talked about the premise of the story that basically explains what is going on in this Page Puncher wave in general. And we also talked about the whole gimmick with Page Punchers, the issues, and what they eventually are looking like they are fixing, retaining with the comics. So, because I've said all that already, I won't say it again. And let's just get into this review. This figure, of course, like every other Page Puncher, comes with a comic. And this comic has a different cover. It's the same story, but it is a different artwork. And it's a pretty cool artwork. I do like the way they drew the Mr. Freeze in this with the more deep sea diver sort of suit. Now, I would wish that he could have held his gun on the left arm as well. He can't do that in the figure because he doesn't have any interchangeable hands. As you can see, that is all he has for accessories, which I don't know if that's really that good per se. And then as well, he does come with the card. Not a useful card. Very useless in my opinion. So we don't really get to learn what this version of Mr. Freeze is at all. Like, all we know is that he is trying to save his wife again, like usual. But that's it. We don't know how he created this suit. What this particular Mr. Freeze does for a living, you know, all that stuff. So yeah, they don't talk about that. But in terms of his design, I do like this very very stylized look. It is very interesting to see a deep sea diver sort of deal going on with this figure. I don't think this would have ever happened if he didn't, if Mcfarlane didn't get the license, because I don't ever recall seeing any Mr. Freeze looking like this. We've always seen Mr. Freeze with his more traditional sort of look. Let me see if I can grab an example. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is better. Like something like this, right? Like this is what you picture Mr. Freeze to look like. And I can do the comparisons now because if I remember correctly, I already done a review for this guy, so I'm already forgetting things. But yeah, there you have the comparison. Let's just go into comparisons now. The two different designs, and it's crazy like how different they look, but there are pieces that represent who he is, like the red eyes, right? The tank on the back, right? And then of course the gun. I don't have his gun on him right now, but yeah, the freeze gun, and we also moved the fuck. So I really like that they paid attention to a lot of like the details that existed on the regular version of what Mr. Freeze always looks like in this more type of look. But then they changed it where instead of giving him a glass dome sort of head, it's like this deep sea diver suit is all he needs to keep him, I guess, like alive and everything. So if you look at it aesthetically, right, like this figure in general, you can see these meters, I guess, that tells him like how much the temperature is inside his suit. You can see like everything he's wearing is just like to keep him like cool, I guess. I don't know. And then on top of that, he has a very cool looking freeze gun that has like a tube attached to the back. So I do like that whole sort of like style. And then as well, the head is just like the best piece of like this entire figure, right? He has like he just wears like a very heavy helmet to keep him secure, I guess, if you want to use that term. And on top of that, he also has 3, I guess, bottle or whatever height, like liquefied, like ice, sort of like ammunition that could go on his gun, like his gun potentially, I think. So that's kind of cool. And on top of that, he has like this stuff. Now, I don't think they really did a good job painting this. It's supposed to be ice that's like stuck on his suit. So you can see that detail even on the arms and the hands, where the hands is, and then the other side of the shoulder. I think it came out okay, but the paint is kind of lacking, so it just looks like it's like part of his suit, but it's supposed to be like the ice that's like frozen over. So I don't know. It just doesn't really work the way that I think they wanted it to work. So yeah. And then you have all this nice like detail with the paint too. Like a lot of the silver areas that you're seeing, it's painted better than most, like how do I describe it? It's better than how they usually paint a lot of like gray types of figures. Usually sometimes they don't even bother to use like metallic or like chrome to make it look like it's metal. They just use a dull gray plastic sometimes just to like paint it. But for this one, they really went in with all the paint and stuff and all the details too. Like if you look at his feet, right, these pads, whatever these are, for his knee, and then his shoes, everything is painted nicely. Even the gun. I'm gonna take this off so you can see what I'm talking about. I like the gray, or the, I think it's like supposed to be gunmetal, and I don't know why this is coming off his hand. Okay, here we go. You have the details on this. Now it's all one color. Unfortunately, like the meters could have been painted at least with something to make it look different, but still, I think the paint for this is okay. It's not like a dull looking plastic gray color or dark gray color. Then you have his gun, which has seen better days. You can see the wear and tear on it, so I do like that. And then even the cord, like the silver tube cord that is like linked to his backpack, even that is painted in a nice, like, I don't know, metallic, shiny looking color, which works. So in that sense, I do like how all of this came out. I do wish this front part was painted a little bit with blue, just so it looks like he's about to fire something out of it, right? I wish that could happen. But no, that is not there. Maybe I could do that myself, which is not a hard thing to do. And also, this is the second figure that came out last year that was allowed to have his gun. Well, because his gun is not real, so they're like, okay, he can have his freeze gun. And if it wasn't for the original version of this figure right here, this guy, this one wouldn't even be here. So thanks to that one, this is why we were able to get this. So I'm very happy with that. Okay, that is aesthetics for this guy, really. There's not much else going on with him, but he's just very nice looking in terms of aesthetics, so I do like that a lot. And I very much appreciate this design, because this is one of those type of like designs that at first you just look at it, you're like, nah, I don't need this. I don't need this in my shelf. It's just a weird looking figure. Like, why would you need this? You could just have a regular Mr. Freeze. But then the more you look at it, then the more you realize, I do like the way it looks, and then you end up buying it. That's basically my problem with my hobby. I look at something, at first I'm like, I don't like the way this came out. It looks really weird. It looks stupid. And fast forward a week or a month later, I end up buying it. So, but that wasn't the case for me with this guy. When I collected, well, what I mean is when I bought the first 2 figures for this wave, I went in only wanting Batman and this Mr. Freeze. You know, I didn't expect that I would end up getting the other 2, but that's how it goes. So, all right, articulation. This guy is, he's very simple. Let's just say that. He has single jointed arms, right? He has swivel there because of single joint. He does not have any swivel on the shoulders or whatever this area is. I'm bad with anatomy. His head, though, is impressive. It can go all the way back. I mean, they all can, but I just like the way that this head rotates. He can also look up like crazy. He can't look down, though, unfortunately. He cannot look down. As for his torso, it is one entire piece because there's no cut in between to break the sculpt. So basically, this is one of those cases where it's just one joint in the waist area that allows him to rotate and stuff. So you can't really crunch forward, can't really lean back too much, so that's also kind of not so good there. Single joint again, same thing, rotates. He does have movement in the hands, and oh right, the hands, they are not your usual ball peg or sculpted ball peg combination. These are I don't know what these are called, but they're part of his hands. So this could get ugly if you stretch it out a bit. It won't look that good. So same thing with the fists. It does have movement. So yeah, there's that. His legs, you can kick out, not too much, because of the way that the legs are sculpted and the way that this area is hindering it, especially this, like, now some people have said that if you cut it a little bit more, he could probably kick out more, but I don't think so. I think this figure just has like a really weird sculpted like upper leg area, so it just prevents it from even kicking out anyways. So he does have single jointed legs, as you can see. They do have a rotation, so it's good. It does have toe or feet articulation. It can rock side to side, and he also has toe articulation, so pretty good, right? He has all the standard articulation I think you would need on a figure like this size. So nothing too complicated, and I think that's really good for a Mr. Freeze. He also feels very hefty and durable. Again, this figure doesn't feel like a cheap figure. It just feels like a very solid figure that was released with a lot of commitment given to it. So this guy has that kind of what do you call it, oomph to him. So is there anything else that there is on this figure that I want to show? I don't think so. I think that's about it. He's very simple, right? Like, he's not too overcomplicated to understand in terms of his articulation areas. So well, I mean, this is a given. Yeah, as you can see, this just pegs into his back. So if you're curious, which is, it just goes on his back. So very simple. Again, very, very simple. And all you do is peg that, and then you just pop his hands, hold the gun, and then you're done. And you got Mr. Freeze back with his gun. So very cool, very nice, very wintry themed. I like the whole thing with this figure. It is different in design, it is unique, and I hope that they continue to do this for every figure, no matter if it existed or not. I hope they keep using oddball designs sometimes and release them as figures, because it's one of the main things I love about this line. Is when I see something that just stands out, that's maybe at first something that I didn't want or something I did want, and then yeah, over time I will probably look back at this and be like, wow, I'm glad I have this. So With that said, I hope you enjoyed this second look at a Page Puncher figure review on my channel, because we are going to go through this entire wave and maybe end off with an overview having all 4 figures in frame. That might be something I might do at the end. I don't know. I haven't decided. But as for this video, this will wrap it up. Take care, and I will see you in the next review. And if you like the way I do my reviews, give me a like. If you want to sub, you can, but you don't have to. So, with that, bye.